Here we have from MR Slotcar the Porsche 911 EVO GT1 series. And the GT1 was the top tier racing series that Porsche wanted to get back into in the mid 90s. And this is the car that was a result of that. Actually, the first series, the GT1, was based off of the production version of the 911, which was the 993 at the time, and it really had very little in common to do with the actual street version 911 other than maybe the headlights. But they had some success early on with this car, but by the end of the 96 season, they made some upgrades, and it was more based on the production 911 Porsche, the 996, and improved the aerodynamics of the car and called it the EVO, or the Evolution, which is what this car is based on. Now, the Jägermeister livery is a tribute livery. In other words, it didn't actually, wasn't produced, and MR Slotcar has chosen to pay tribute to the 911 EVO GT1 Jägermeister as a tribute. So it's a very beautiful car. But if you haven't had the chance to pick up any MR Slotcar, they make a fantastic car. They're not as high production as some of the other slot car manufacturers. This one is number 330 out of a total production run of 550. And pretty cool, but their typical green cardboard case, and they use slotted running components, the motor, axles, and bushings, and so forth. So they look great, but they run very well. But let's get a little bit closer look at it here. And you can see the paint work on this is phenomenal. That orange color just pops. And for those of you that are Jägermeister fans of that livery, you will not be disappointed. But everything just looks so good. The gold wheels just pop with that orange paint. Everything just looks so well done. And very light car. It's a little bit lighter, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But let's look underneath. As you can see, with MR Slotcar, has a motor pod, meaning it's bolted or screwed on to the actual chassis. Gives you the ability to change out the motor and do a little bit of loosening on the motor pod to help improve float, which limits vibration. And this is an angle winder. I think this is the slotted flat 6, which is about a 22,500 RPM motor. But it runs so smooth. It has the adjustable front axle, so you can set the height of the front wheels. And the reason you do that is because you really don't want the front tires supporting the front weight of the car. You want that to be done by the guide, and contact with the front tires on the track surface is going to interfere with that guide. And so it's just a nice balance to get the tires where they're barely just almost touching that track and not supporting the weight. But yeah, there you go. Very nice chassis. Now, I have installed a decoder chip because this car comes analog, meaning it'll run on any 1/32 scale analog track, whether it be Carrera, Scalextric, or some of the older brands, Enco, and some of the new stuff by Scale Auto. But yeah, let me get the body off of the chassis so you can see what I have done to enable this car to run on my Carrera Digital track. All right, I've got the body off the chassis, and just to show you the underside of the body real quick is, well, something's missing again here. I have taken the interior out. It came out quite easily. And the reason I did that is so that I could easily install the digital decoder without having to cut or make any modifications to that interior. And I just stuck the interior here in the box for the time being, so that if I ever want to take the chip out and then to run it at analog, I can easily put the interior back in the body. But one of my favorite digital decoders is a brand called Slottecknic, and works very well with Carrera Digital. And as you can see, the chip is pretty small, and this decoder is designed for higher performance motors versus over the standard Carrera car. I think the standard Carrera cars that you get run somewhere between 17, maybe 18,000 RPM. I could be off on that, but this motor, as I mentioned earlier, I believe is about a 22,500 RPM motor, and slotted motor. And so this chip can just handle that extra current. But you can see the chip is pretty simple. I just use hot glue, stick it, hold it down to the chassis, and then you have two wires that run up to the power, the leads for the braid, and then two wires that come back to the motor. And these extra connectors you see here, that's if you want to connect to headlights, which the chip comes with the extra wires. As you can see here, they even have the plug on the end of it that just plugs into these different sockets. So if the car has headlights or tail lights, different things like that, you can easily connect them. But this car does not come with headlights or tail lights, so I just left those off. But you can see, the angle winder, the gear here. I can't recall how many teeth that is, but it's all super nice aluminum, high performance slotted bushings, axle, aluminum wheels. It's just a great setup. And you can see the front axle height is adjustable with the set screws, two on the top and then two here on the bottom. And so you can do that. And then the motor pod is adjustable, and so that you can just slightly loosen the screws that secure the motor pod, and it just kind of lets it float a little bit, as it said. And again, that's there to help with vibration, because this motor is going to create vibration. And the tires, I have a tire sander, tire truer, so I have trued up the tires. I chose to go with, I put some NSR super grips on here. I really like the NSR tires and found the right size that fit those wheels very well and put those on there. And I did see an improvement over the original tires, though they were fine. But again, that's a preference of mine. I have also removed any traction magnets that were in here. Again, that's just a preference of mine. I like the real world handling without the magnet, and forces you to drive the car. It's a little more challenging, but there you go. That is it for the chassis. And let's get the body back on and see what kind of lap times I can get. So there you have, not too bad, a 7.195. Anything close to 7 seconds on my track is pretty quick. So MR Slotcar Porsche 911 EVO, beautiful car. Highly recommend you pick this one up, and or any other MR Slotcar brand that they produce. But thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one. Bye.